Have you ever really stopped to think about where creativity comes from? We have this image of the lone genius, struck by a lightning bolt of inspiration. But what if the real secret isn't found in solitude, but in symbiosis? Today, we're digging into a fantastic essay that draws this incredible line between the cooperative world inside our own bodies and the collaborative sparks that fuel our greatest creations. The whole idea kicks off with this stunning thought. It asks us to completely rethink what it even means to be a self. We're not just one thing, we are a walking, talking ecosystem, a collaboration on a scale that's almost impossible to wrap your head around. And that single idea really sets the stage for a much, much bigger question. And there it is. That's the core question we're tackling. I mean, if the very foundation of our existence, our health, our mood, our energy, is built on trillions of tiny organisms all working together, what could that possibly teach us about how we create and innovate in the world outside our skin? To get to the bottom of that, we've got to look inward first. So let's explore this unbelievable symphony that's playing out inside every single one of us, every second of every day. It is a biological masterpiece of cooperation. Just look at that number for a second. 100 trillion. That's roughly how many microorganisms make up the human microbiome. They actually outnumber our own human cells by about 10 to 1. So yeah, we are quite literally more them than we are us. And believe me, these aren't just lazy passengers hitching a ride. That's right. Up to 90% of our body's serotonin, the chemical that helps keep us happy and balanced, is produced by the microbes in our gut. Ever get that warm, fuzzy feeling after a great meal with friends? Well, you can thank your inner ecosystem for that. This gut-brain connection is incredibly profound, and it ties directly into our ability to be creative. Which brings us to this fascinating link. Research shows that a diverse microbiome, lots of different kinds of microbes, is connected to higher cognitive flexibility. Now, what does that mean? It's basically our brain's ability to jump between ideas, to see new connections, to think outside the box. It is the absolute cornerstone of creative thinking. So the main point here is that this internal teamwork is absolutely essential. Our microscopic partners are breaking down food into energy, they're creating vitamins we can't make ourselves, they're even powering our cells through this ancient partnership with mitochondria. A balanced microbiome even helps us solve problems better when we're under pressure. In short, our biology doesn't just like symbiosis, it thrives on it. Okay, so if our inner world is this cooperative marvel, does that pattern repeat itself on the outside? Does creativity move to that same collaborative rhythm? Well, it turns out the answer is a huge, resounding yes. Let's take Leonardo da Vinci. We think of him as this singular, lone genius, right? But his workshop was a buzzing hub of collaboration. Apprentices were learning, they were debating, they were sketching right alongside the master. Masterpieces like The Last Supper weren't born from just one mind. They came from a shared process of discovery and creation. And this rhythm is still going strong today, in every field you can think of. You've got the Human Microbiome Project, uniting scientists from all over the world. You've got Yo-Yo Ma's Silk Road Ensemble, creating this breathtaking music by weaving together all these different cultural threads. Even the author of the essay we're looking at talks about how getting critiques from peers makes their own writing so much sharper. Creativity isn't a solo act, it's a chorus. But if cooperation is so natural for us, both inside and out, what's the thing that always seems to get in the way? The essay points to one powerful force, the human ego. It's that part of us that wants all the credit, that resists working with others, the part that builds walls where our biology builds bridges. The story of Picasso and Braque is just a perfect and kind of tragic example of this. Together, they invented Cubism. They changed art forever. They were so in sync, they said they were roped together like mountaineers. But as ego and rivalry started creeping in, that partnership just fractured. They fought over who got credit, and that powerful creative flow they had, it started to stagnate. And the costs of that ego are high. It stifles innovation. In science, patent disputes have literally delayed life-saving breakthroughs. When we let our ego take the wheel, we don't just limit our own creative potential. We're actually acting in direct opposition to the very cooperative principles that keep us alive. So what do? The essay doesn't suggest we can just, get rid of the ego. Instead, it offers a much more beautiful and realistic path forward. It gives us a call to weave. And this is such a profound shift in thinking, isn't it?
The goal isn't to erase our individuality, but to integrate it, to see our ego not as this wall that divides us, but maybe as a spur that drives us. It's about taking our unique views, our ambitions, even our flaws, and weaving them all together into something way stronger and more beautiful than any single thread could ever be on its own.
So, how do we actually do this? Well, it starts with simply acknowledging the ego, just seeing it and understanding what it's trying to do. Next, we have to embrace imperfection. The most innovative breakthroughs often come from messy, clashing, incomplete ideas. We have to welcome that chaos. And finally, we have to actively weave. Go out and find others, blend your vision with theirs, and build something together. In the end, from the 100 trillion microbes working together inside of us to the greatest artistic and scientific collaborations in history, the lesson is exactly the same. Our true potential is unlocked not when we're in isolation, but when we're in connection. And that brings us to the really powerful question the essay leaves us with. Whether your art is painting or coding or building a business or even raising a family, how are you weaving the people around you into the things you create? It's a question that's definitely worth pondering long after this is over.